I mean, do you know many Black vegans?
Definitely choose it.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, global homies. Welcome to the premier podcast celebrating Black travelers and expats. I'm the creator and host, Cherie. Each episode, we focus on up-to-date news, travel hacks, interesting stories, and key insight to help you travel better, connect more, and experience the best that this world has to offer if you dare to travel outside of your comfort zone and maybe find yourself a new one. Today, I'm with public health maven, psychotherapist, Reiki healer, wanderlust, food enjoyer, and Haitian queen, Jenny, aka Slim Jen. Welcome to the show.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for having me, Cherie.
Now, wait a minute. Is it Slim Jen or is it kind of like Slim Thick Jen?
Well, I mean, I wish it was Slim Thick Jen. No, it's just Slim Jen. I have my moments, though, or angles, I should say. I have my angles.
Yes. So who are you?
Well, my name is Jenny Bryce. I am a product of the beautiful, great already island of Haiti, raised in New York, but really raised in Philly because I consider the ages between like 17 and 30 to be where you're raised, where you grow up for real, and so that would be Philadelphia. So I call Philadelphia home and have done so for the past 18 years.
Wow. So you're like a Haitian American John.
Yes. You know what? I used to have a Tinder profile, and my handle was New York John.
Yes.
Yeah, right? That's a good one. Y'all can have that. I'm not going to use that anymore. Whoever wants it can have it.
So what kind of traveler are you? What's your traveling style?
I was thinking about that this past week because I'm away right now, and I'm realizing the kind of traveler that I am is more of I start to get this stirring in my spirit where I just start to feel too settled in the monotony of life. And I like my life, you know what I mean? But I read this quote one time. It was like, I hate having my travel interrupted by life or something like that. And sometimes I feel that way. Like I need to kind of schedule regular intervals. So travel for me is a reprieve. It's a way to recharge. It's a way to reconnect. And I love going into new spaces and just setting my feet on the ground and walking alleyways. Well, not dark alleyways, but like, walking the streets. You gotta be careful. I travel solo often, so. But just setting foot in places I've never been. And just enjoying the randomness and the basicness of somebody else's life as opposed to the basicness of my life. So, I take it all in.
I hear that. So where are you now?
Girl, I am in El Salvador.
El Salvador? Yes, I love El Salvador.
Have you been?
No.
Okay.
But I can't wait to go. That was one of the countries that Trump called a shithole country, and ever since then, I'm like, it's at the top of my list. What are some of the reasons why you chose to go there?
Well, it's a bit of a story. It's a detour. I'm actually headed to Costa Rica, and I'm going there tomorrow, and that was my original destination. But because of the snow and cancellations and things not working out, I was able to get on a trip with a family member who works for an airline. And so I basically came to work with her and was able to stay and visit and tour El Salvador for a couple of days. And I'm leaving tomorrow. So it was not really a country that was on my list. But the fact that it was called a shithole country makes me feel even that much more endeared to it, because I am also from a quote-unquote shithole country. And so we just got to unite and show the world that that's not who we are. I love the energy here. The people are super, super, super friendly. It's gorgeous. And anytime I hear about like corruption or this place is dangerous, and I'm like, okay, I know the United States has something to do with this. I can relate because, Haiti has had that reputation for a long time. But when you actually visit and you like place yourself there, you see that there's so much more to it than the propaganda.
That's real. So Jenny and I first met because she used to date my man, and wait, I'm sorry.
That's somebody.
That was the other Jenny, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, so we went to middle school, high school, and we're actually roommates during freshman year of college. And I think of Jenny because she's like me in that whenever we hear a song on the radio, we start harmonizing.
Immediately. It's instantaneous. Even if it's a commercial.
Even if it's a commercial jingle, exactly.
It's a jingle.
Like, I'm loving it. Yeah.
I am stuck on windows.
Stuck on me. That's just how it is. So before we get too carried away, that is Jenny. She's awesome. Please enjoy El Salvador and your continued journey to Costa Rica. And let's get started.
Thank you and enjoy your flight.
Hey everybody, it's time to take off with travel news. So Ghana is now on track to have one of the fastest growing economies in the world. The New York Times reports that its projected growth in 2018 between 8.3 and 8.9% might outpace even India with its booming tech sector, and Ethiopia, which over the last decade has been one of Africa's fastest growing economies thanks to expanding business in agriculture and coffee. That's coffee exports. The article goes on to say that in January 2018, Ghana's benchmark stock index achieved the world's highest rate of growth, 19%. During the 1980s, Ghana was marked by political turmoil and a hunger crisis, but has held peaceful elections since 1992 and has been steadily on the rise economically for the last 10 years. We see you, Ghana.
Black Star.
Yes.
So, according to Huffington Post, Air New Zealand is currently testing an idea called the Sky Couch, which allows 3 consecutive economy seats to convert into a flat surface. The Sky Couch includes a cuddle belt, which would enable up to 2 children to securely lay down side by side, and an infant harness and belt, allowing babies to remain lying down for the whole flight, even during takeoff and landing. Pending approval, the airline hopes to make the Sky Couch available on board within a couple of months. Hopefully, this is music to the ears of many parents with young kids who want to travel more comfortably. And hopefully, other airlines will adopt similar seating arrangements for small families.
Yes, and that idea was originally for couples to lay down, which I'm sure would be great, but then things just start getting a little hairy. You know what I'm saying? You give them an inch.
Don't take the whole mile. Okay.
Yes, okay. Trying to secure the bag, as the young folks say. You might want to consider moving your career to one of these destinations. The Bureau of Labor Statistics reports that the median income of all Americans during the fourth quarter of 2017 who worked 40-hour weekly shifts was $44,564 annually. Women earn 18.7% less than men at $39,988, and men earn on average $49,192 per year. The average median salaries of Black women are worse, 19.5% lower than white women and only 4% lower than Black men. So evidence shows that on average, earning a higher education increases one's annual salary, but even though those in the U.S. with master's degrees or higher earn an average of $77,324 per year, the HSBC's annual expat survey reveals the cities where one can look to start at $100,000 per year on average. 3 of these cities are within the U.S., but most are beyond U.S. borders. If you want to check it out online, look for the Business Insider report on this topic where they list over 30 cities. Let's review the top 10 of that list. We're going to start from the bottom and work our way up to the top. So we have... Okay. So starting at the bottom, we have number 10, Paris, France. You can earn on average $140,000 per year. That's approximate. All of these are approximate figures. Hong Kong, China at $148,000 per year. Jakarta, Indonesia at $153,000 per year. Los Angeles, USA at $161,000 per year. New York. Actually, it just says New York, USA, $182,000 per year. Geneva, Switzerland at $185,000 per year. Shanghai, China at $202,000 per year. Zurich, Switzerland at $207,000 per year. San Francisco, USA comes in at number 2 at $207,000 per year. And number 1 is Mumbai, India, which comes in at $217,165 per year. Now, this takes into account the fact that a lot of these involve specialized skills, whether it's in tech or finance, and some of these do involve hefty relocation packages to some of these cities, from U.S. corporations or international corporations to cities like Mumbai. But even still, it couldn't help to learn a specialized skill and to take your skills abroad, because look, if the money's out there, who cares whether you get paid in dollars or francs or euros, or not francs, but euros or yen, or, you know, as long as you're making the bank. The world's getting smaller and smaller, so it makes sense to me.
I agree. I'm very surprised at some of those cities, but really cool. All right, y'all, we're going to take a quick pause for a travel hack. Cherie, what's the hack for today?
Yes, so detox travel is one of our themes for today, and clearing out your mind and body is not just limited to the food or drink you intake, but also applies to what you spend your time and energy on. I know sometimes when we're traveling, we're so caught up in documenting each moment through posts, photos, and videos, and going live, that we can become reporters of our experiences as opposed to travelers who are there to connect first and then share the story to others later on. So before you leave for your next vacation, think of taking a digital detox. You don't have to go without Wi-Fi the whole time you're away, although that's also not a bad idea either, because when are you ever going to give yourself that break? But just pretend it's 1998 and make a list either in a notebook or on your phone of all the things you want to do that don't involve the internet. So this might include exploring or wandering around a certain section of town, people watching at a cafe with a journal or a sketchbook, lounging in a park or public square, reading a book, taking a yoga or pottery class, hitting a dance party, surfing, getting on a hot air balloon, wine tasting, enjoying a bicycle trail, volunteering, getting a massage, or anything else analog that you would really enjoy without feeling like you have to go live while you're doing it. If you get anxiety, if you don't, by not having your phone on you, bring it with you, but just be sure to disable your push notification settings so that you can connect with your travel activities without being distracted every few minutes. And if you feel tempted to use your phone just for pictures, go old school and invest in a quality outdoor camera. Your photos might even look more professional depending on what you get. Digital detox so that you can give yourself a break, connect more, create memories you remember with your heart and spirit, and really be present in the moment while you're traveling.
I absolutely love this idea, and I love that we're talking about it, because the whole next leg of my journey is dedicated to going within and not documenting. The temptation is so strong, partly because you're like, this is so beautiful, I want everyone to experience it with me. I'm sure part of it is also vanity and it's a little bit of narcissism, but mostly it's just you're just so taken by a scene or, an experience you're having, and it's so easy to pull people into it. But I have a very specific goal for my trip in Costa Rica, and I could easily see social media becoming a distraction. And so I have limited myself to a maximum of one post per day if I must, because I really want to use that time to, even if I do document for myself, I can put a collage or something together later. But I'm doing a light detox while I'm away. So I think this is a wonderful thing for people to think about when they travel, so that when you're back, it's nice to look through the pictures, but it's even nicer to go back into your mind's eye, into your memory, and just really feel the moment because you were fully present.
Yeah, and also when you're not on your phone, it forces you to socialize with the people around you. So if you come back from El Salvador and did you meet anyone cool? If you were on your phone the whole time focusing on the people back home, who I'm sure you love and care about, you won't have a chance to make new friends. And that's always the number one tip I always get for people that are that want to travel smarter, is just, you have to create those relationships. You have to get to know the people wherever you're going. It helps to save money. It helps to just save time. It helps for safety reasons.
Definitely safety reasons.
Yeah, especially if they're not shady. But so just put your phone away. It takes it's a challenge. It's kind of counterculture at this point.
Mm-hmm.
but you can do it, and it'll make for better memories. Yes, so that was our travel hack for this episode. If you have any that you'd like to share, hit us up at hello@blacktravelpodcast.com. We'd love to hear your tips for traveling smarter. All right, so most of us have heard of buffalo wings before, but have you heard about buffalo cauliflower? Fried?
I have.
You have? Yes. So good. What's that place in Philadelphia you told me to go to?
Bar Bon Bon.
Yes. Great buffalo cauliflower.
Yeah.
Fried mushrooms in place of pork bacon. Aki without the saltfish. What? Nasty, disrespectful, experimental, or just plain genius, health conscious, and new wave. Whether you absolutely love it or absolutely hate it, it feels like everyone these days is either going vegan or knows someone who is. From NBA players like Jahlil Okafor and Kyrie Irving to politicians like Cory Booker, a host of entertainers, hi Erykah Badu, Rizza Waka Flocka, and Craig Robinson, and even Real Housewives of Atlanta, the vegan lifestyle is catching fire, especially in the African American community. But there are a lot of Beyonce goes vegan before special concerts like Coachella. Yes, so she'll do like a month of vegan, and she'll encourage her fans to do the same. You know, a little goes a long way. You know, starter package. You're right. But there are a lot of misconceptions about what the hell vegans actually eat or what they do, and traveling while vegan has its own set of advantages and challenges, especially for people of African descent. As you know, my seatmate today loves her some international travel, but also happens to love her a mostly plant-based diet. She's going to help us on how to make vegan globetrotting actually work, and at the very least offer some tips to the folks who simply want to eat cleaner, step up their Meatless Monday game, or simply slay without the animal slayage. Ooh, damn. Let's get into it. So first of all, disclaimer. We're not pushing a vegan or detox agenda on you. Your diet...
A little bit, though. I am a little bit, but it's only out of love.
Okay. Yes. Okay, we're here for love. Okay, no, I listen, I feel you. So, we respect your diet and your lifestyle or your choice, but there's some really good information about veganism that everyone can use. And let's be real, the constant use of animals to feed and clothe us is not only impacting public health, but also the environment severely. So it helps to have the knowledge on how to reduce that impact. Second, we aren't medical professionals. Well, Jenny is, but I'm not. So if you have any grave concerns about totally going vegan, please do your own research and consult a healthcare provider. But a lot of healthcare providers are not up on veganism like that. So you might want to, I don't know. In the U.S., I find
they're starting to.
They're starting to.
Yes, and I'm a mental health provider, by the way, in public health in terms of education. But there are major shifts happening in the medical world, and especially in the psychiatric world, where people are starting to kind of look at food in relation to mental and emotional health, because food is fuel. This is the food that your brain eats, and therefore it impacts the way you function in the world. And so there's definitely some research that is coming out about the connection.
That's true. And I feel like it's changed drastically from when we were younger. I just feel like, so I stopped eating beef when I was 14, and every time, I started to lose a lot of iron, especially around my menstrual cycle, all the doctors would say, you got to start eating turkey, you got to start eating lamb. And now it's like, you got to
spinach.
Yeah, you got to pump up your leafy greens. And even my chiropractor was like, to reduce the cramps, you might want to think about cutting out dairy. And I was like, oh, times have changed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I'm like, that's my chiropractor. So yeah.
Decent.
Who's like a beautiful, bald black woman. So
yes.
Yes, right? Okay, so I'm just kidding. And third, although I personally have a lot of uncomfortable feelings related to factory farming and animal cruelty, and that's putting it nicely, I hate it. That's not going to be our main focal points so much for today's episode. We will do episodes on ethical travel in the future, but we're mainly going to cover the ways in which you can travel well without harming animals and keeping your body feeling so fresh and so clean wherever you happen to roam. Because honestly, when you find alternatives, you realize it's really not necessary to do things that harm animals. It's just they're innocent living beings, and it's just a waste of time. So first of all, misconceptions about veganism. A lot of people think that vegans are just really strict vegetarians who don't slip and eat meat, but that's not true. Jenny, what do you think veganism is?
Veganism is really a way of life from the things that you utilize, consume, care about. So I don't necessarily consider myself a vegan because I do consume honey. And so vegans do. Yes, I do. So I don't eat animals, and I do not eat the things that come from their bodies per se, although, technically honey is like bee vomit.
It is bee vomit. Exactly.
But vegans, they take care to do no harm in every way that they can. So they don't wear leather. They won't frequent places that, harm animals or have animals on the menu and things of that nature. A lot of people have become turned off, or they think it's very elitist, or it's just so, there's, what's the word, dogmatic, I guess. But vegans believe that there's no reason for us to harm any other living being on the planet in order for us to survive. And so they adhere to a very specific code of conduct and ethics.
Yes. And there's a lot of different theories behind this. First of all, like as human beings, we have generally flat teeth compared to other mammals, which seems to suggest that we are meant to mostly eat plants as opposed to meats. There's a chemical that is pumped into the stomachs of like lions or animals that really rely on meat for their diet. They get a lot of that chemical, whereas we get a tiny amount to break down meat. So that would suggest that we can eat meat, but it's not supposed to be a major staple in our diet. There's a lot of different theories behind it. And certainly for Black people, going vegan, it's a mix, because some of the biggest vegans I know are Black folks. And then for other people, it's completely foreign to them. And there's a lot of reasons for this. So I did some research, and first of all, meat seems to be a staple in the American diet, and also Caribbean diets, and also Latino diets, and also African diets. So it's kind of hard to get away from meat. When you think about a meal, you think of meat, and then you think of side orders, instead of like the main dish being a vegetable or a grain, and then maybe a little bit of meat on the side, or no meat. And then traditionally, many Black people feel like, why do I need to care about a pig, or why do I need to care about a cow when Black people get slaughtered every day? I mean, that is a psychology that's
absolutely
out there. Yes.
Justice for animals over people of color. So that's a big point of contention, where it seems like an either or situation.
Right, where it doesn't have to be that way. We can fight for both at the same time.
Yeah.
And then there's this conception that veganism is elitism. But the fact is, a lot of Black folks, especially in America, live in food deserts where they have a lot of processed, fatty foods around them, unhealthy foods. The conception is, oh, you want to eat vegan? I don't have the money for that. But a bag of broccoli can sometimes cost like 99 cents on sale. There's with potatoes, most breads. There's lots of ways to eat vegan for cheap, and even going through the dollar store, you will find vegan options. I mean, do you know many Black vegans?
I don't know too many. I mean, through social media now, I've grown to learn about so many people that have taken on the vegan lifestyle. But before that, I had one friend when I started my vegan journey. Took me to a raw restaurant, and that was an experience. And what I learned is just the vegans that I know, or that I am aware of, that are Black, there is a spiritual component that's connected to it, where it's like, I don't ingest these things to my body because it doesn't resonate with the vibration that I'm, going for. And so that vibes with me too, because the main reason that, veganism hooked me is that it had like it just didn't feel right. Had I gone through it, had I gone through my journey starting with the facts and figures of the environmental impact and all of that, it wouldn't have had the same wouldn't have resonated in the same way. It was, it started off as an emotional decision. Then later on, I'm like, oh, and I'm helping save the planet, and I'm, all this and that, and, all the little info graphics that tell you all the things that happen when you don't eat animals for one day. You save like 100 gallons of water and this and that, and all these amazing things that happen. But yeah, the list is growing though. The list is growing, and people are just starting to kind of feel, especially after What the Health, where people started to really feel bamboozled by the government around the food choices that were made available to them, or the way food was marketed, and just feeling like this is another tool that's been used to oppress people, which it has.
That's true, and that's another thing that I see present in the Black vegan community is a rejection of the Western food, especially that's been enforced upon us, and getting back to eating food that from the earth, natural food that allows our body to heal itself.
Yep.
And also, we have to get out of this idea and just really have real talk about the fact that they're not these sunny farms where animals roam free and, have families and moms and daddy cows take care of their babies and it's just one big happy farm. I mean, a lot of these animals are confined to really, really, really inhumane conditions. They're confined to these like tiny cages. I passed by one. We were driving, I think, along the Texas-New Mexico border, and I saw one on the side of the highway, this farm, and the animals were packed so tightly together, I immediately bawled because I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I was like, this cannot be legal. Like, I've heard about it, but it just cannot be legal. They're filthy. A lot of these animals are pumped with hormones. They're pumped with antibiotics. They're full of pus. There's pus in a lot of the milk that you're drinking. It's just reality. We can't. And people think, oh, well, don't you have to milk cows? Yes, you have to milk cows, but with factory farming, I mean, their udders are so swollen and their udders are filled with, it's just awful. So
it's horrendous. It's absolutely horrendous. And marketers have done a really amazing job of disconnecting us from our food source. And this is why that type of stuff just kind of goes over our head. Even into the point of relabeling things like, oh, I'm eating bacon. No, you're eating pig, right? You're eating a baby pig or whatever it is. Like, if we called things by their names and we really understood the production cycle, it would shift the way we understand food and the way that we consume food. Because in our culture, we would say, I could never eat a dog because absolutely that's my friend. Like, I could never eat something that I'm so intimately connected to. In other countries, in India, right, cows are sacred. So they're not, to them, it's just unacceptable that would be something that you consume. And so if you take that mindset about your dog and apply it to other animals, it's literally the same exact thing. That pig, that cow, that, venison, the deer that you just ate that was a delicacy for you, had life goals too.
Had life goals, had personalities, had a soul, had intelligence. Yeah, I think a lot of people underestimate intelligence, and actually pigs. And I know, a lot of Black people love bacon. And you know what? I used to love me some bacon too. I used to love me some ham. I love being in Paris, having my croque monsieur. You know what I'm saying? I never went as far as the foie gras because the way, ducks are treated to get that foie gras are awful. But, and I just saw a vegan foie gras actually in Whole Foods the other day. I'm gonna try it. But it's intelligence, yes. So pigs are closest in intelligence to dogs, and actually have some similar behaviors to dogs. They can figure things out. They're resourceful. Chickens can actually tell colors. They can count. We always look at them like they're dumb birds, but they are not. I think that we underestimate them, and that's part of the story we tell ourselves to justify why they don't know what's going on, and they're just there for
the cycle of life, the circle of life.
Yeah, and I get it. We want to nourish our bodies, and we were all raised to eat animals and wear animals and all of those things. But the conception that vegans only eat salad or bird food is just completely false. There's a lot of creative vegan food coming out. There's ways that you can fill up by eating really clean proteins and grains and fruits and veggies that will keep you full for a long time and actually keep your energy up so that you don't have the itis. You actually have more energy than you did before. So, as we know, there's plenty of countries that we can go to that are harder to find vegan meals. But there's some really great countries that really embrace veganism. Number one on the list is Germany, surprisingly, because they love their sausage in more ways than one. They love their sausage, but I'm just kidding. Hey, Germany. They love their sausage, but they're actually creating some really great alternatives to the sausage that they love that are, mostly made out of soy protein, and we don't have to get into that whole debate. But they're there, and tempeh alternatives to the sausage they love.
But you know what? I'm not really that surprised about Germany because they're a pragmatic people. So I feel like once data starts to demonstrate that certain foods have more benefits and this and that, like it kind of makes sense that they're like, okay, well then that's what we'll do, because it makes sense.
Right. I like that mentality. Next, we have the U.S., especially in along the West Coast and Northern California and just northwest U.S. There's some really awesome high-end vegan restaurants and vegan fast food options. It's really cool. Then you have Ethiopia. They've always had vegan options that are really heart healthy and delicious. And then you have options in Asia, especially with Japan, Thailand, and India. So I took a poll within my network for some vegan travel tips, and here's what I found. One person said, keep a vegan go bag ready in your home so that if you have to pack last minute, you won't freak out, because while you're trying to pack everything else, keep some prep foods packed, especially dried beans, nuts, and oats, or prepackaged or seasoned packs of beans, rice, veggies, and tofu so that you can just heat it up somewhere. And then also pack some protein bars to keep you full on the go. Pack a cooler or blender with you. Now, obviously, that's probably going to be in your checked luggage if you're me, especially if you just want to pick up some quick things and then, or the cooler for the beach. That would be great. But you never know what condition you're going to be in, so a cooler will be helpful. Remember that most airports carry hummus and some type of nut butter. I just feel uncomfortable saying nut butter, but... also
so nicely.
Nut butter, but also avocados. That's pretty easy to find. Choose accommodations with a kitchen, for example, a hotel suite or home share such as Airbnb, and even map out accommodations purposely that are near vegan food options. You can use the hotel coffee pot to steam veggies or cook soup. One traveler reported that they call the hotel in advance and tell them to store non-dairy milk in their fridge upon arrival for medical reasons. Now, I don't know if it's for actual medical reasons or not, but they said that the hotel usually accommodates them for free. Get a collapsible food container that is BPA-free, microwave-safe, and dishwasher-safe so that you can save that good vegan food that you do find for later. I know that, I don't know if it's the same now, but 10 years ago when I was in Paris, you would go to a nice restaurant to eat, and at the end, if you have food left over and you say, can I take it to go? They look at you like you have 10 heads. It's like, we don't do that here. So you got to bring your own to go.
So uncouth.
We don't, who does that? You eat here for the experience and then you go home. So bring your little container. Okay, map out restaurants, grocery stores, and farmers market visits ahead of time. So it's already mapped out and it's planned into your travel itinerary. Remember, every restaurant carries at least salad and veggies, and ask them to steam it in a veggie broth if possible. And even if they don't have veggie broth, a good chef will know how to make one real quick. So if they don't, you might want to leave. There's also the Happy Cow app, which maps out vegetarian and vegan restaurants all over the world. They also have a website if you don't feel like paying for the app. And it helps to bring some spices with you. So even if the only vegan food you can find is super bland, because people don't put a lot of thought into vegan food because they're haters, that's nothing some curry or cumin or Italian oregano can't fix.
Nutritional yeast.
Oh, that's like a cheesy alternative, right?
Yeah, it's for like your soups and things like that or whatever.
Yes.
So decent.
So I personally like packets of spice blends that are either Mediterranean or Italian or Mexican. And don't forget the magical power of hot sauce or sriracha. And then finally, if all else fails, you always have fast food. So there's always vegan options, or you can edit vegan meals at Taco Bell, Pizza Hut, Subway, or Chipotle. Beyond fries and a side salad, most items on the menu are editable. It sometimes can help to start with the vegetarian items and then remove animal-based ingredients from there. And this also goes with items like wine, which you wouldn't think, wine's made of grapes. Why would it involve anything having to do with animals? But sometimes things like fish skin and fish gills are used to filter out the actual wine while it's processed. So you might want to look into some vegan alcoholic beverages.
Yes, there's traps everywhere.
There are traps everywhere, and you have to kind of get in the habit of bringing food with you, but you'll be okay.
Yeah, you will. It encourages you to be more mindful about your food consumption. I know that was one thing that was really illuminating for me, that I never really thought about, where my next meal, everything was just so convenient. And now, although it can be frustrating at times, I am very intentional about what goes in my body. So I appreciate that aspect.
Yeah, and then just going back to what we were talking about before with the factory farmer, when a living being is born into stress and suffering and lives that way through death and then dies violently, because we have to acknowledge they are dying violently. They're not dying in a
such
humane
thing
way.
as humane. What is it?
Humane murder.
Humane murder. I'm like, I don't understand that. I don't get it.
Yeah, I mean, even if they are allowed to roam the fields that are sunny throughout the day, I mean, a lot of them, just do your research. Trust me, it's there. Just think about that. I mean, you're inheriting that energy into your body. You're eating that, and you're slapping some barbecue sauce on it, and maybe it tastes great in the moment, but after a while, it does energetically and spiritually. If you are on that meta level, as we are, you realize it does affect your person over time.
Yes. So eating vegan is a natural way to detox the body, especially when you cut out the vegan processed foods, which I am super guilty of, and I'm working really hard to limit my intake of those, and focus more on fresh fruits and veggies. You're naturally going to eat very clean. So this can help you to keep your energy up, feel great, and here are some other tips to help you detox while traveling. So pack an empty water bottle in your luggage to fill up throughout the day. This will help you to save money and stay hydrated for long walks and outings. Bring your vitamins, probiotics, and supplements with you to get your daily dose of the good stuff. Even if wherever you are is a food desert, only offering fatty processed foods and beverages, at least you'll have your vitamins and stuff on hand.
Right.
Make sure you have antibacterial wipes in your bag at all times, because some folks just nasty. Always. Germaphobe City. I also bring alcohol, and I pack either if you have alcohol wipes, or if you have alcohol, you just put it in a little carry-on bottle, and you bring pads. You wipe down your phone, wipe down your stuff, your computer, daily.
Doorknobs, all of that.
Everything. Take time to work up a good sweat, whether it's through exercising in the hotel fitness center, relaxing in the steam room, taking a good hike, or just sitting in the sun to get some vitamin D. Sweating is one of our body's natural detoxifiers. Pick up a bottle of clove oil, which is an essential oil, from a health food store before you travel. Clove oil is amazing for increasing blood circulation, boosting the immune system, alleviating headaches, and increasing energy. Dab a few drops on your hands and or feet either during or after sitting on the plane to help get that blood flowing and relieve some stress.
Yes, and I also love peppermint oil for detoxing. If you're traveling and feeling a bit sick, either with nausea, sore throat, a stuffy nose, indigestion, car sickness, or even seasickness, try mixing a couple of drops of peppermint oil with coconut oil, another travel must-have, and rub it behind your ears, under your nose, and on your chest. Just make sure to pack any essential oils very tight in a waterproof bag, because having them spill and soak your luggage will ruin your damn life.
Yes, and you know what, Cherie? Real quick, Trader Joe's actually has a triple filtered coconut oil with no scent. It's like virtually nothing. So for people who don't like the scent of coconut oil but love the benefits, that's a great base to use for your essential oils.
Yes, I love triple filtered. That makes me feel like you care.
It's all right. You took the time.
Thank you. It's like the salad bags that are triple washed. I'm like, thank you so much.
The simple choice. Simple choice.
I would also suggest finding time to take your shoes off. Yes, you heard me correctly. Take your shoes off somewhere in nature. Obviously where it's clean and you feel safe. Just in case you need to suddenly take off running. And just on a side note, you have to make sure it's clean. Because I just read about this couple they were on some beach in Dominican Republic and they got some kind of bug eggs or something on the bottom of their feet because the beach was filled with some kind of larvae or something like that. You have to make sure be careful. But that was, a unique incident. It hasn't been an epidemic. But there is this concept of feeling the earth beneath you and going barefoot in grass, sand, or soil, what some call earthing, has proven in some studies to reduce inflammation in the body, improve the quality of your sleep, and increase antioxidants. Fresh. Next, seek out some earthy teas that will help you to digest your food better. Piping hot brown oolong tea is my personal favorite. Green tea is also another great one. And if you know that you really can't go, pack you some laxative tea. Might be better to have it than to not have it. If your friends don't understand, screw them. And speaking of that, did you know that a vegan diet helps many to increase their libido and even strengthen and lengthen their performance? Yup. And who doesn't love a good release? Detox. Get you some today.
Wow, okay. So for those of you wondering how you can avoid animal products while traveling, beyond just what you eat, our boy Zachary from the left coast is about to walk us through alternatives to animal skins like leather and fur.
Yes. So now I am with the man with the plan. Who am I on the line with?
Yeah, this is Zachary from Tacoma, Washington. Been vegan about 5 years. I'm an animal rights content writer, and hopefully I can give you some good tips for traveling and staying vegan.
Yes. So vegan lifestyle is not limited to vegan food. There's also a lot of ways, especially with outdoor attire, whether you're hiking or skiing, a lot of people use animal skins and don't even think about it. Why should we make a big deal out of lessening or stopping our use of leather and fur in particular?
Yeah, leather is not exactly eco-friendly. There's so many chemicals that go into the tanning process, and the folks that have to make the leather actually get exposed to a ton of the chemical, arsenic being among them, and it just takes a lot of water, a lot of nasty stuff that goes into that, and the cruelty behind the fur industry. Fur farmers use the cheapest ways possible to kill animals, where there's drowning, electrocution, poisoning, gas, and animals live their entire lives in filthy wire cages and crates, and it's just not necessary.
It's not necessary. I agree. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. So it's just, there's so many better materials out there and fabrics and things that will actually benefit you in your travels, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of the materials to look for, the synthetic materials like polyester, rayon, they're moisture wicking. So if you're hiking, if you're outside, if you're actually active in your travel, those are the kind of materials you're going to want anyways. So yeah, there's tons of reasons why you would opt for synthetic. A lot of people have allergies to down, which is cruelty picked from live geese, and it's just far more expensive a lot of the times too.
Yeah, I think that a lot of people don't know how a lot of these skins and furs and feathers are obtained, and we kind of tell ourselves this story, or a lot of consumers do, like, oh, well, they're just being shaved. They somehow assume that there's no cruelty involved, and they somehow assume that the process is humane, but that's not actually the case.
Yeah, absolutely. Case in point, definitely wool. A lot of people think it's just a sheep getting a haircut, when in reality, males are castrated without any painkillers. They have their tails cut off. The shearing process is insanely rough and cruel, and when they get cut on their skin, they get sewed up without painkillers. It's horrible, but that's not exactly what you see when they go to sell you a sweater. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Now, I've also heard that you can get some leather alternatives, even like pineapple leather. There's a lot of different durable, cost-effective leather alternatives, but I think leather is what most of us grew up thinking is the most long-lasting, durable fabric we can use. But it seems like it just takes a little bit of research, and you can find a great alternative.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, and we're getting crazy in the future. Like, we're making leather out of mushrooms and pineapple and, just ridiculous things. But, I mean, there is faux leather everywhere. And tendencies, you look at it, you can't even tell the difference. And not only is it just as durable, just as fashionable, luxurious, a lot of times it'll be cheaper. So that's always a plus. And like I was saying earlier, it's a lot less filled with all the chemicals that cow skin is filled with. If it wasn't filled with all those chemicals, the skin would rot right off your feet.
Damn, that's real.
Mm-hmm.
That's real. Wow. Okay. And I think you also brought up earlier the human factor. And in fact, PETA points that out on their website. Says leather production poisons tannery workers, pollutes the environment, and kills animals. Whenever you're shopping for a new car, make sure to push for luxurious, high-performing, leather-free leathers that are stylish, durable, cost-effective, and as kind to the planet as they are to cows. And before we finish, I just want to suggest that everyone head over to PETA.org. That's PETA.org to check out some models and makers of cars that don't use leather or are leather-free. So if you're traveling and you are looking to rent a car, there's some synthetic fabrics that are used to make the seats and other accessories within the car that don't have to harm animals. Any other tips for us today, Zachary?
I would say, when you're out shopping for the materials to look for, always look for synthetic material or man-made material. And always a little research before you buy is always a good thing. In this day and age, it's easy for consumers to make compassionate choices. With so many fashionable, comfortable, warm options available today, there's just no excuse for wearing animal fur or skin.
I love it. Thank you. So avoid leather, fur, suede.
Yeah, absolutely. Angora for wool.
Down. Down is another big one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Silk, all that.
Silk, all that. Damn. Okay, so now we're looking for faux synthetic materials.
Oh yeah. And I was saying, if you're out there like on trails, whatever, I mean, you're gonna want that good weather wicking stuff anyways, or else your nipples gonna start chafing, and nobody likes that. So.
Yeah, and you should know because you're in Tacoma, Washington, so you know better than me who's sitting in NYC. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. We really appreciate your tips.
Thanks for all of that sexy vegan travel info. All right, y'all, it's time to show some love to a super cool business making a difference for people who travel, just like us.
Yes, and this week we want to highlight Black Girl Sunscreen. So first question I have for you, have you ever been sunburned?
Yes, a little bit.
What does a little bit mean?
Well, I'm a darker hue. My melanin is really elevated, and
My name is Pearl. I don't actually know the first. What do they call me? Yes, Legacy and Nina Simone, obviously. But go ahead.
But yes, like gotten really, really dry, started peeling. It didn't hurt, like some people have said, but it's annoying and it lasts a long time. So yes, I guess, been sunburned.
Well, I have been sunburned before in DR. I fell asleep on the beach thinking I was, just black girl magic, basking in the sun. I woke up 2 hours later and I went to scratch my shoulder and it felt like I was freaking stabbing myself. So once you've been sunburned, you just learn your lesson and it's just like never again because it's awful and then you peel. It's just painful and uncomfortable. Especially you got to watch around the tip of your ears and the nose and the lips. Ooh, sunburned lips. That's not cute. You're trying to pucker up and it's just ash and flakes. Two, have you ever found a sunscreen that doesn't have you looking like a ghost?
I have not yet.
Right, exactly. And did you know that many sunscreens are not safe for the environment? Some ingredients in sunscreens have been found to damage sea life, including fish, turtles, and coral reefs. Some of it is like coral bleaching, actually taking away the beauty and the life of the corals. And that's not cool. A helpful tip is seek out commercial sunscreens that are quote unquote reef safe. And you will see that marked on the bottle. Now, getting back to Black Girl Sunscreen, it seems in many ways to be an answer to our prayers. According to their website, this natural sunscreen is not only fragrance-free, but also paraben-free and oxybenzone-free. Oxybenzone is one of those common harmful ingredients in commercial sunscreens, which contributes not only to the declining health of coral reefs, but also to hormonal disruption, reproductive issues, and allergic skin reactions. Now some say that black don't crack, which is a damn lie, but that's for another show. If you really don't want to get wrinkles and hope to reduce your chances of skin cancer, a great sunscreen with broad spectrum protection is the way to go. I like the concept of Black Girl Sunscreen because besides the awesome name, their product uses natural ingredients such as carrot seed oil, jojoba oil, almond oil, and shea butter without giving you that white residue. I try to stay away from white residue. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's never a good look.
You don't need to hide in the shade, girl. Exercise your humanly right to enjoy the sun and maximize that melanin. Now, obviously, this sunscreen is not out here being all exclusive to black girls and women. Anybody can use it. This product was created in part because it's a myth that black people just don't need to wear sunscreen. However, today we want to help debunk that myth because it absolutely can be a great help to many of us. For information on Black Girl Sunscreen, just check out their website at blackgirlsunscreen.com. Yes!
Thanks for highlighting that awesome business, Cherie. Now let's take a moment to check in with the Dope Traveler of the Week. Every episode, we highlight a new jet setter and explore what makes their travel lifestyle special so that we can learn and get inspired for our own glow up. Cherie, take it away.
Yeah, so now I am joined with the Dope Traveler of the Week, Vangile.
Yeah.
Vangile, where you at?
Hi, I'm in Chiang Mai, Thailand.
Chiang Mai, Thailand, which is like a super duper on fire hot hub for digital nomads and entrepreneurs that don't want to be confined to office walls and want to live quite affordably. Would you agree with that?
Yes, definitely. I think Chiang Mai is extremely affordable. The weather is amazing. Like, I'm just loving the fact that I don't see snow. It doesn't get extremely cold. Oh my God. It's like I hit the jackpot.
So where are you from originally?
I'm from South Africa originally, but actually what people don't know is that South Africa is cold.
Is it cold? Well, you guys do
in the
have...
winter months.
Yeah.
And in the fall, which now it's fall and people are already like complaining about the weather. And I was there in summer and there were days when I was like using an electric blanket. So the weather's changed in the country. Global warming is real.
Yes. Yes, I hear you. So what brought you to Chiang Mai?
I've been traveling for the last 12 years of my life. So before traveling became a thing because of Eat, Pray, Love, I've been doing it since I was 21, since 22. I just left varsity and I just started traveling. So I live a year, 2 years or more. When I got to the US, I went back and forth and eventually lived there for 5 years. So I lived for long periods of time in different countries. So I've been in Chiang Mai now 5 months. So.
Nice. Lucky you. So as you know, this episode is all about Black, vegan, and detox travel. And you've been traveling for 12 years, and I heard that you have narrowed down the top 3 best places in the world to get some bomb-ass vegan food. So where are these places?
Okay, so let's start with number one. So number one is really from my home country. It's Cape Town. Like, not just me, but Cape Town restaurants have been voted like the number one restaurants in the world. So if you look it up, you'll find that the food, they get rave reviews. I don't know, most of them I think are like meat restaurants, which is so blah because most people that are reviewing are meat eaters. But within Cape Town, there's these amazing places where you can get incredible veggie burgers, sweet potato fries, like the most insane vegan fish finger things made out of beetroot. It's just amazing. And my favorite restaurant in Cape Town is Plant. So if ever you're in Plant, definitely check it out. They've got vegan cheese. They do the most insane food. One of my favorite dishes is this triple decker bean dish that they've made of different beans, salads, and patties with the most incredible vegan sour cream in the world. I kid you not. And avo and just salad is just amazing. And the other beautiful thing about Plant is they've got freshly squeezed veggie, fruit and veg juices, which are like a liter. So you're not just getting a small little shot like you get in other parts of the world, but you're getting a whole liter and you can just sit and drink. And yeah, like, I don't know what else to say about it, but yeah. Oh, I would say that the selection of vegan cheeses is they've experimented with brie vegan cheese, with a mozzarella, with cheddar, so they're trying all sorts of different things. So you're not just getting just your run-of-the-mill vegan cheese, this is the standard. Oh, and they also have gluten-free, so that's my favorite. My other favorite place in Cape Town is Raw and Roxy.
Raw and Roxy?
Yes, and it just says raw vegan food. So I'm usually not much of a raw foodist because I really love soups. I really love cooked foods. But when I'm in Cape Town, I genuinely indulge in raw food because the food there is so good. So Raw and Roxy has these amazing raw pastas, which you absolutely must try. They make them out of, I don't even know how to make them, but it's really amazing. And then they have like vegan pesto, or they've got vegan creamy sauce that goes with that. It's just, and then they also have raw desserts. Oh my God, totally try all the chocolate raw desserts on their menu. And Raw and Roxy is in this really trendy neighborhood. It's called Woodstock. So if you're definitely new to Cape Town, you're going to end up in Woodstock because it showcases all the tourist sites or any of those things. That's where you're going to find the most incredible custom-made furniture. Yeah, so don't just go there for anything. Go there for the amazing custom-made furniture. You'll see furniture made from all sorts of recyclable materials and all different things. I had tire furniture at one point in my house, furniture made from gas cylinders. So definitely check out Woodstock and go to Raw and Roxy's.
Yes, you better be sustainable. Yes.
Yeah, so those are my two favorite restaurants in Cape Town. There are tons. Like, I can't list all of them because there's so many, right? So definitely check out Cape Town. And then my second favorite place where I found food to die for is Rishikesh. So
Rishikesh, right? Now, where is that?
Rishikesh is in India. So definitely worth checking out. So it's called the Gateway to the Himalayas. So
that sounds sexy.
I know people. I hope people are trying to climb Everest, but Rishikesh is actually not known just because it's the gateway to the Himalayas. I call it spiritual Vegas.
And
Wait a
so,
minute. They need to hire you. Spiritual Vegas. That touched my soul. Like, that was amazing. Rishikesh, India. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
but that's the thing. I only love Rishikesh for the food. And when I say spiritual Vegas, I mean, imagine Vegas for spirituality. You know how Vegas is all about having fun and you can go like all the debauchery and all that. Now imagine a spiritual Vegas where when you land, every single spiritual practice you've ever wanted to try, every single kind of body healing, everything is there. Like, there is no shortage. I mean, Ayurveda, every single type of meditation under the planet, Reiki, I mean, palm reading, tarot reading is all in Rishikesh. Acupuncture, there is nothing that the spiritual traveler cannot get in Rishikesh. And then add in like every single type of yoga under the sun. So I did my Tantra Yoga certificate in Goa when I lived in Goa in India, but now they've moved to Rishikesh because, well, obviously everyone's going there. So it's also where the river Ganges is. So you get a lot of Indian monks and gurus there. So when I was there, like it was the first time, it was one of the times of the year or in 3 years or something like that, where they had 1 million monks descend onto Rishikesh. So it was filled with like 1 million monks and they'd all come to the river Ganges.
Wait, were they all silent though? Like, imagine if there was like 1 million monks and they're all silent and it's like mad awkward because it's like mad people. But okay, that was a monk joke. Sorry if you, I know it's mad corny. Go ahead.
They were all like chill, singing, chanting, and that's the thing with Rishikesh. Like, really, you'll find, like I said, for me it was a little too much, but I will say, they say that to touch your feet in the river Ganges in your lifetime is one of the most auspicious events that can ever happen because the Ganges River is blessed, etc. So you can go there, ask for blessings, pray. So definitely recommend it.
So where does the vegan food come in, and why do you think it's popular there?
So yeah, because of all these spiritual practices, right? A lot of the people that are in this level of spirituality don't eat meat. So most times, and they tend not to eat a lot of meat-based products, which, oh my gosh, like, I will not lie. Rishikesh, the food there, just thinking about it. I tell everyone, please go to Rishikesh for the food. There's a place called Little Buddha in Rishikesh. Whatever you do, just ask, where can I get to Little Buddha? And go there. So the thing that I found very fascinating about Rishikesh was, unlike most parts of India, the food is very fusion food. The vegan food is a mix of Asian foods that they've mixed to create this incredible taste, insanely good food. I mean, it's India, right? So most people will say, generally, India, you'll find really good food, and it's not difficult to find great vegan food. But I found Rishikesh, for me, stood out. And even though I will lie, I didn't really enjoy and partake in all the spiritual stuff because it was overkill, I stayed for like 2 weeks because I couldn't imagine leaving the food behind.
Sorry, that sounds like food that makes you glow inside. That's the way I'm feeling.
Yes. I found a lot of tourists that stayed because they found that their bodies were nourished, but then they were also getting healthier physically and losing weight because you also have yoga that is so affordable. So yeah, I'm definitely selling Rishikesh.
Yes, they need to hire you, girl. All right, so number 3, best vegan food in the world. Where you're at, Chiang Mai, Thailand.
Wow, like I am just in love with the food here. So Chiang Mai, just like Rishikesh, I mean, Cape Town is not going to be as affordable as Rishikesh and Chiang Mai, because in Rishikesh you can eat out every day, and in Chiang Mai as well. But not only are you eating out in Chiang Mai, it's like a full-on experience. So a lot of the vegan restaurants will have the most amazing ambiance as well. So my favorite restaurant so far, and it changes on a weekly basis because I keep discovering new places. This is how insane this country is and this little city. So my favorite place at the moment is called Good Souls.
Good
And
Souls. Okay.
Good Souls is this incredible restaurant where you can go and have vegan food, and they've got gluten-free options. And when you're there, please try the beetroot or the mushroom burger.
Beetroot and mushroom burger. What comes on it
Yeah.
besides the beetroot and the mushrooms?
Oh my gosh, what comes on it is obviously there's like salad, and then they've got this veganese sauce, which I'm like, what? And they have cheese, like vegan cheese. So that's that, and they have gherkins, and you have like these incredible potato wedges that they say are fries, but they really like amazing potato wedges.
I appreciate that when someone calls a potato wedge a fry.
It's so good. They know how to mix flavors. And then obviously they have the traditional Thai curries, but I mean, it's all vegan. So it's really amazing. And then I don't even know what they have on the rest of the menu. Let's just say like there's about 100 dishes on there, which is so common in Thai restaurants. It's like they have like 50 to 100 meals in a vegan restaurant. And you're just like, what the heck is going on? Like, who knew you could have such a variety of vegan food? And then the most amazing thing, they also have like vegan desserts, raw chocolate brownies, so definitely check that out. And then my second favorite restaurant is Be Vegan. Be Vegan is literally in some back of beyond little place. There is no great ambiance, so just word of warning. If you're going there, you're going for the food and to have really good vegan food.
So it's like a hole in the wall.
Yes, it's a hole in the wall, and literally for $3, you're going to get lots and lots of food.
You know what? The price is right.
It really is. Like, if you spend about $4 or $5 there, you're going to get a 3-course meal. You'll be truly full. Amazing. And you're always guaranteed to have good food. And same as all the other vegan restaurants in Chiang Mai, you have a full menu.
That's really awesome. Thank you so much, because people, especially our people, they think that, and people in general just think that vegans just eat salad or bird food or rabbit food or whatever. You know, anytime you change your diet, your taste buds eventually change. And especially when you start eating fresher foods, you start to crave fresher foods. You start to crave healthy foods, and and then when you cheat and go back to the dairy, or, you know, I remember one time I had cut out dairy and sugar for a good 6 weeks, and I cheated and I had some ice cream, and I didn't even enjoy it. It used to be my favorite. True. And when I went back, all I tasted was chemicals. I'm not even kidding. You know, and then...
That's so true, actually. Yeah, that is so true what you just said. I have a hard time really eating junk food now. I mean, I used to love junk food, not like I couldn't have a lot of it from a young age because I was already vegan or vegetarian. But I find that I can't do it anymore. Like, I can literally taste the chemicals that the food is made out of.
Yeah.
It's the weirdest thing. And I think you're right.
Even after, when I got back into the dairy and the sugar, then I stopped tasting it. And I'm like, ooh, this is dangerous. Why can't I taste this anymore? This is why we have an addiction problem to processed foods. That's a whole nother episode, but I'm really glad that you named the locations you did, because it's helpful for people to know that you can be creative, and you can, I think it's in a lot of ways harder to be a fantastic vegan chef because you have more limited ingredients, but you make the most out of those ingredients and really maximize. Yes, how many ways and how many varieties of beans can we work with? and what fruits and vegetables do they pair with, and grains. And it's really like making a symphony with a few instruments, but making it sound beautiful, and, so I have a lot of respect for people who take vegan food to the next level. So thank you. Yeah, thank you so much. So what's next for you, and where can we find you on the internets?
You can find me at Wealthy Money, so wealthy-money.com, or you can find me on Facebook. Check out Wealthy Money Magicians. Yeah, there is definitely an interest where people are constantly asking me about the best places to eat vegan. So I think when I head to Bali, I'll also check that out. So I'm planning for Morocco and Senegal in a few months. So I'll definitely blog about places where you can find vegan places.
Did you want to talk about this travel festival or travel telesummit that you are organizing?
So I'm having a Black Femme Slow Travel Summit, which is happening beginning of May, where I am interviewing 15 Black women who are slow travelers. And slow travel is where you spend 3 weeks or more in a country. So most people that do that have their own businesses. So I'm interviewing them to find out how they get to do that and how they make it happen. So definitely check it out. Join me. Yeah, you'll find more information definitely in the Facebook group as we get closer to that. And also join the Wealthy Money newsletter. So you'll just go, if you go to wealthy-money.com, you'll be able to find all that information.
Yes. All right. Well, there you have it. Wealthy Money. Join the Facebook group. Visit her website. She's in Chiang Mai, Thailand. So say hi. And she will be hosting the Black Femme Slow Travel Telesummit in early May. So check her out so you can stay tuned. Thanks for being a part of the show.
Thank you so much. This was amazing.
And we're back. All right, Jenny, let's prepare for landing. What's next for you, and where can we find you online?
Well, you can always find me on my main page, Slim Jen, where I post my where I post my travels, my musings, and things that I find interesting. I love going on what I call health escapades. So I'll go and do flotation. I went to the chiropractor for the first time a few weeks ago. I'll talk about meditation and post inspirational items. So that's my main page. I am also developing my private practice page, and my practice is called Centered Psychotherapy, and I focus on providing traditional talk therapy, so using the evidence-based modalities, but also infusing energetic modalities such as Reiki. Not at the same exact time, but I offer both, and I aim to integrate the intellectual, physical, and spiritual components to support others in their healing. And so that's Centered Psychotherapy on Instagram, website coming soon. I will also be on a panel at Well Summit in Boston, and Well Summit is a conference conceptualized by Gian Doherty of Organic Bath Co. And it stands for wellness, empowerment, learning, and luxury. And they promote a 360 view of health and brings together an amazing group of people to share knowledge, products, and services centered on green living, sustainability, and health. It is an amazing experience. I believe they're going into their 4th year, but it's just one of those spaces where you can just see all the elements of what you need to live a amazing life coming together. So you have people focus on food, you have people focus on mental health, and so that's kind of where I come in. You've got people focus on working your business or elevating your business, getting to that next, tuning into that next phase of your life. It's a beautiful thing.
And health is so important. I think that is basically the main thing of today. If you forget everything else, health, the food you intake, spiritually, the stuff you put on your skin, what you tell yourself, all of it is so important. we need you to stay around, and we need you to enjoy your life. And health is most important.
Absolutely.
Yes. Well, everybody, it's been lit exploring all of these topics with you. And thank you so much to you, Jenny, for being my lovely seatmate today. On behalf of myself and the entire crew, I'd like to thank you, the listeners, for joining us, and do hope you'll enjoy the rest of your journey. We would love your support because it's deep out here in these podcast streets. Please subscribe to our show so that you can catch the next episode as soon as it's out. We are now on iTunes, Google Play, YouTube, SoundCloud, Stitcher, and TuneIn. Just search Black Travel Podcast, and that's it. That's it. Like us, comment, and write a positive review. Follow us on social media to stay connected in between episodes, at Black Travel Podcast on Instagram and at Black Travel Pod on Twitter. Big thanks to Kenny99 for our intro and outro music. Catch him on the internets at _KENNY99_. Y'all, this is our global community, and we want to continue to grow and let the world know. Have a beautiful, safe day, and stay fly unapologetically. Peace.
Now let's go get some green juice.
That's right.